Death of TV characters can often be controversial. I think it's because, well, obviously people don't like death, but besides that, these characters don't have to die. They're essentially immortal. So when a character dies, it'll be commonplace to ask, did they really need to die? When a more established character dies in a show, there's usually weight put behind it. More often than not, it will happen to a side character, and it's done to show grief, and how another character copes with said death. One of the biggest deaths that's ever stuck with me was Laverne in Scrubs. I will never forget Carla's final goodbye to her. Just the sheer emotion the actress showed. The Simpsons has done as good of a job with characters' deaths before. I think most people would immediately jump to Bleeding Gums Murphy's death, and Lisa singing Jazz Man. Another, not as well remembered, but very well done death was that of Grandpa's girlfriend, Beatrice. So we have two great examples of well done deaths. And then we have Maude Flanders. I think this clip from Family Guy sums up how I feel like The Simpsons handled Maude's death.
That guy sucked.
When I think back on her dying, it just feels so mean-spirited and spiteful. Why did the show have such animosity towards Maude? Well, in season 11, Maude's voice actress had a falling out with The Simpsons over a pay dispute, leaving her to quit the show, and in response to that, they killed Maude. Now some people have tried to say it was necessary, because Maude lost her voice actress, but none of her other characters died. Miss Hoover, Helen Lovejoy, Luann Van Houten, they all weren't killed off with Maude, and it's not like The Simpsons have never replaced a voice actor before. Heck, in this episode, Maude has a different voice actress, and you really can't tell the difference. And you know the damnedest thing about this whole situation? Maude's voice actress came back 3 years later. Now other people say, oh, they wanted to show Ned deal with grief. And to that I say, have you ever watched this episode? They try to brush Maude off as quickly as possible. Pretty much the next scene after Maude's wake, Homer's trying to hook Ned up with other women. With that being said, I will say years later, they have done a much better job of showing Ned dealing with his wife's death, particularly in the Praise Land episode, which does feel like a sequel to this episode. That was incredibly well done. I remember this moment in particular really made me care for Ned and what he was going through.
Well, good night, Maude. Rachel. Maude.
But that's not going to affect my views on this episode. Just like how there are episodes that made this one way worse. Like when Homer just flat out mocks Maude's death, despite being partially responsible for it. That dick.
F-L-A, don't yell at Ned. D-E-R, his wife is dead. Everybody hates that stupid jerk.
Then there's an episode in the newer seasons that shows Todd's birth, about how Maude and Homer actually bonded and became friends, which ended with Homer delivering Todd. And we found out Todd's middle name is Homer.
F-L-A, don't yell at Ned. D-E-R, his wife is dead. Everybody hates that stupid jerk.
So yeah, for this review, it's not going to be affected by later episodes, for good or bad. But with that being said, it's been a good while since I've seen this episode. Perhaps my initial negative view is misplaced. I guess there's only one way to find out, as we see if Alone Again, Naturadiddly, is the worst Simpsons ever. But before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to our patrons. If you like our content and want to support us, consider becoming a patron, where you get access to all our videos 1 week early. If not, a like and subscribe goes a long way. Thank you. Now let's get to the episode, which begins with the Simpsons going on a hike, where they first think they hear an angry swarm of bees, only to find out it's a nearby racetrack. Which, how in the world did you have no idea this racetrack was nearby? These things don't just spring up overnight. It does seem like this racetrack is new, with Lisa saying they've ruined a bird sanctuary, but that makes it more unlikely that they didn't know this racetrack was here. Lisa would have been protesting the crap out of this construction. Then the family runs across an active racetrack and almost get hit 3 times. What the hell, are you insane? You literally just risked the lives of your 3 young children, including a baby. You know, I expect this crap from Homer. But I'm disappointed in you, Marge. They then show animals living in the middle of the racetrack and adapting to it. Heck yeah, squirrel gladiator fighting. But this would never happen. The racetrack would have gotten rid of these animals because any one of them could have wandered onto the track and caused a horrible accident. Then we get this funny line.
Why do jerks think everyone wants to see their stupid name?
We also get to know the unfortunate soul who most likely got to bear all of the hate for this episode, even though this was most likely a higher-up choice. I don't think writers can just randomly kill characters. I blame showrunner Mike Scully. After this, they all almost die by a race car. Again. Which the family shouldn't have been here in the first place. For shame, Marge. So after almost killing the family, the driver lets Bart get in his car. Which I don't know much about race cars. I've never seen NASCAR before or anything like that. But I do know they don't have freaking back seats. These cars don't even have side mirrors to reduce weight. They're not going to have a useless back seat. Then we see how this idiot crashed in the first place. And after seeing that, I'm not surprised that he's as reckless with his family as Homer and Marge. Especially Marge. Seriously, dude, you just crashed. And now you're going to risk what looks like a newborn baby? What the hell is wrong with these people? Afterwards, he gives the family spare tickets to the race, where they are seated right in front of the Flanders. Which Rod and Todd ask if they can move closer, but Ned refuses, because they are the furthest away from crashing. Wow, you just really need to add on Ned feeling like crap, don't you? During the race, we see one of the coolest things in racing history. Heck, in the history of cars. But the crowd is disappointed because it wasn't a crash? Seriously? Come on, people. That was amazing. Then we get another stupid moment, where Homer drives onto the active racetrack to get a tire change. Which, A, how in the world did he get to his car so quickly, seeing that he most likely parked back at the park? B, cars just can't enter racetracks during races. And C, every car has their own pit crew. They wouldn't just start randomly working on someone else's car that pulls up. Then Homer causes a multi-car pileup, which was so severe that this would have just ended the race. Show's over, people. Everyone go home. Geesh, Maude hasn't even died yet, and it's already one of the worst episodes just because of how dumb it is. And damn, this episode was bloodthirsty. They just really wanted to kill someone, didn't they? Then the moment happens. They bring out these cheerleaders, or whatever NASCAR calls them, who start shooting t-shirts into the crowd. During which Kirk becomes Homer? What the hell is that? Look at him. It's literally just Homer's body, but with Kirk's head. Anyway, Homer is being an obnoxious jerk-ass while trying to get a t-shirt, causing Maude to leave and go get some hot dogs. Where we hear the final thing Ned says to Maude. No footlongs. Which is something that later haunts Ned, knowing that this was the last thing he ever said to his wife. Yeah, that moment is actually tough to rewatch. I almost showed this clip, but I just can't do that to you people. So then Homer ghosts the cheerleaders into all of them shooting him at once with their t-shirt bazookas, which he ducks out of the way to pick up a bobby pin. Seriously? Does Homer have ADHD or something? And of course, Homer ducking causes Maude to get hit by the t-shirts and get knocked off the side of the stands, dying. And yes, Homer is absolutely responsible for Maude's death. He goaded the cheerleaders into all shooting him at once, and then ducks out of the way for a stupid bobby pin. Now, I'm not saying the women aren't responsible too. They did just flat out kill Maude. No one can deny that. Also, I should point out, from the moment Maude left her seat to her coming back and getting hit, took about 20 seconds. There is no way in hell she could have gone from the top of the stands to concessions and buy hot dogs and get back in time for this. You could say, oh, they just didn't show minutes passing by. But you see Homer's interaction with the cheerleaders during this time period. It didn't feel like a time skip moment. We then see Homer and Marge getting ready for the funeral, where Homer actually cries. Because Marge told him not to be a jerk to Ned. Seriously, dude? You just killed his wife. You are just a piece of garbage. After this, we go to the funeral, where the show has Reverend Lovejoy try to gaslight us into thinking Maude didn't matter and you shouldn't care if she died. Then they just full on add insult to injury, where they have the women who killed her do a 21 gun salute with the weapons that were used to kill her. Are you freaking kidding me? Plus, Maude was a wholesome religious woman, so she most likely wouldn't have wanted these bitches to come to her funeral wearing freaking bikinis. And then we see that they basically desecrated her coffin with ads from the racetrack. You know, the place where she died. Is it just me? Or can anyone else just feel how much they hated Maude's actress at this moment? We then go to the wake, where Mo tells Ned that he would have been all over Maude if Ned died. This causes Ned to kick his ass. Good on you, Ned. But Mo isn't fazed. Instead, he just says this.
Send me to more. That's it. Oh, here I come, baby. Oh, yeah.
That was just sickening. What a jackass. And it's immediately followed by this.
Bart? Honey, I think you should go play with Rod and Todd.
Oh, man, why does everything bad have to happen to me?
Seriously, does everyone have to be a complete dickhead in this episode? At least Bart is a child. Mo doesn't have any excuses. Go screw yourself, Mo. And to be fair to Bart, he does spend time with Rod and Todd, where they play a game which I remember fondly, because you could actually play this game. I think it was on Simpsons.com or something. I mean, it was a simple little game, but I enjoyed it. Also, apparently this scene had Bart's voice actress, Nancy Cartwright's favorite line from the show.
Got him! No, you just winged him and made him a Unitarian.
You know, I really enjoyed this scene. Mostly because everything else has been just horrible. To the point I was kind of sick to my stomach when I got to this part of the episode. And this scene just alleviated that for me. Here's hoping the worst of the episode has passed. Let's see if the second half can make up for the first half. After the wake, Homer actually does a decent thing and comforts Ned, even walking him home. And tucking him in the bed? Okay, sure. Then we get a small but subtle moment with Ned, where he's trying to hold Maude, but nothing was there. That actually hit much harder than I was expecting. I'll give the show props. That was good. And of course, Ned couldn't sleep at night, so he wakes Homer up. And we get this funny moment.
Oh, you want a rock fight, eh?
No, Homer. I just need to talk.
Okay, you write down.
Okay, so the episode's starting to pick up. Good. Finally. Unfortunately, it's followed up by, hopefully, the last bad moment in this episode. Where if you think Homer wasn't really responsible for Maude's death, please listen to this.
Now, don't beat yourself up. I'm the one who drove her out of her seat. I'm the one who provoked the lethal barrage of T-shirts. I'm the one who parked in the ambulance zone, preventing any possible resuscitation.
And like I said in the beginning of this video, right after this moment, Homer starts trying to set Ned up for a date. So we get one true scene of grief. Before, Maude's dead, get over it. But at least, they do have Ned say it's been a hard couple of months. During which, Homer has been secretly filming Ned to send a tape into a dating service. Which the tape has many funny moments, actually.
What would you say about a man who owns his own house and his own car? That's Ned Flanders. A man who's not afraid to cry. Hey, Ned.
So that's why you maced me.
Yeah.
And what the hell? Damn, Ned. This got a good shock laugh out of me. However, it is undercut a little by knowing that Homer had Lisa edit this video. Yeah. Moving on. We then see Ned go on a couple of dates, but none of them really work out. Ironically, one of his dates was with Edna, his future wife. Even though in this date, she was just using Ned to make Skinner jealous. After all of that, Ned starts questioning his faith in God, asking if taking Maude was just the wrong decision, which was a perfectly reasonable response. Add another check to the show actually doing grief well. This leads him to choose to not go to church on Sunday. before immediately changing his mind.
Sorry.
As he enters the church, a Christian rock band is playing, which moves Ned and puts him at peace. Afterwards, he has a pleasant conversation with the lead singer, and the episode ends with this.
Listen, we're heading out on tour with the Monsters of Christian Rock. Maybe when we get back, you and I could get together.
Well, maybe we can. My name's Ned Flanders, and I'm here every week. Rain or shine.
So let's just get into this. Is Alone Again Naturdiddly the worst Simpsons ever? This is a tough one, actually. I'm essentially asking myself, is it worse than the episode where Homer is R-worded by a panda? It's not an immediate no, but it's not an immediate yes either. If the episode was just the first 10 minutes, yes, absolutely. Just god-awful rubbish. However, the last half was much better, and there were moments I really did like from it. But was it enough to outweigh how horrible the first half was? It's a tough one. I'm going to say that it's not the worst Simpsons ever. I mean, it's still bad. I'm still going to give the episode an F. The second half had good moments, but it didn't stop the episode from being bad. It just stopped it from being the worst Simpsons ever. But at least this episode had some redeeming moments, and ends on a positive note, unlike Homer vs. Dignity, which was mostly just terrible and ends on a really negative note. So that's the episode where Maude dies. Let me know what you think of the episode in the comments below. And just like the episode did after her wake, let's move on. And what episode will we be seeing next? To see if it's the worst Simpsons ever. Well, it's a controversial episode. That's no stranger to lists of most hated Simpsons episodes. It's a season 25 episode where Bart gets his teacher pregnant. Wait, what the f***? Are you serious? This actually happens? Okay. So tune in next time for that. And thanks for watching.